Hey y'all. Hey, it is Sister Self Care Sunday, and we are working through a few technical difficulties. We are just trying to get Denise in the studio because y'all know that's my sister for Sister Self Care Sunday. But I definitely want to just let you all know what we are going to be talking about today. So, today we are talking about embracing self love. And, self love is so critically important. And Denise has some very good points. So I'm just going to check in on Denise and see if we can um, bring Denise up to the stage. Let's see if we get her. Okay, Denise, we have you on the stage. Do we have your sound? So far we don't have sound for Denise. Let's see. So we have the visual, but we do not have audio for Denise. So we're going to get started, but we want to make sure that we see if Denise is going to be able to call back in and jump on this conversation with us, because we look forward to having her on the screen with us for this Sister Self Care Sunday. Let's see.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, okay, we got you now. Okay.
Goodness gracious, girl, the struggle is real today.
Okay, y'all. So it's Sister Self Care Sunday, and we are glad to be kicking it off. Um, as always, I'm excited to be here with y'all. I got my girl Denise. We got the sound going. We are running slightly behind, so we're
Yeah.
gonna still try to wrap it up within time. Again, today we are talking about the importance of self love and how you can embrace self love.
Yes.
So Denise, now that you're on screen and we have the sound, tell us a little bit about, give us a little intro into that self love we talked about.
Well, definitely. Let me just make sure that you guys can see me good. Hold on here. Okay, there we are. So basically, with the self love, and I'm finally glad to be here because it was frustrating not being able to get on. But for self love, it's actually we all should definitely be honoring our worthiness and embrace our authentic selves, so don't try to be something that you're not, just embrace the person that you are. Love on yourself, even though you may be a person that may be, make mistakes or different things of that nature. Give yourself grace, you know what I'm saying? Still love on yourself, because you can always try to change who you are and work on yourself. So just embracing,
Absolutely.
just embracing yourself for who you are, and not trying to be something that you're not, is definitely, the first step to self-love.
Absolutely. And self love is really the cornerstone for our journey to wholeness, right? We talk about wholeness and authenticity. It all starts with how we feel about ourselves and the love that we feel and show to ourselves. So let's get into the first part of our conversations, which is understanding self love.
Yes. So the first thing about understanding, good self-love, the first indicator is profound sense of peace and contentment. you know uh that is definitely, the first thing. And then you want it to be, yourself to be rooted in knowing, that we are worthy of love. you
Mm-hmm.
know. And a lot of people, they may sabotage their relationships and different things because they don't truly think that they deserve good things to happen to them, and that is the one thing right there. If you have peace and contentment and you know that you're worthy, and that's the one thing that a lot of women don't know, their worthiness, and they definitely feel like, oh, I'm not worthy for this good to happen. And they may talk negative, a lot, about themselves or things that happen in their lives, in which they have to stop that, talking negative, and speak life into themselves, and
Right.
be that they're worthy enough for good things to happen within their lives. So,
Yes, yes, absolutely. And so as we talk about self-love, Denise is absolutely right. It's definitely about showing yourself compassion, but in addition, it's important just to understand that you have to be able to cultivate a deep sense of self-respect, of being kind to yourself, and in knowing that's all a part of the whole reverence of our own humanity, right? And it again, when we say self love, some people really don't understand just how strong and powerful the love that we feel for ourselves is. The impact that that has, it's like a domino effect. We talk about foundational things. And if self love is the foundation of us being whole, if that foundation is not solid, guess what? The whole house that we're building on that foundation is weak and it won't stand. And that creates a whole slew of problems. So definitely understanding the importance and the gravity of self love is so important, y'all. Um, let's get into some of the signs of, well, what are some other things, Denise, about self love?
okay, well, some of the other things is that another sign is the habit of self sacrifice and neglecting our own needs in favor of others. So, this is, actually a sign of absence, for self-love, is that, definitely if you, you know um put everybody above yourself, you know
Right.
one indicator is a tendency to seek external validation or approval,
Mhm.
to fit an internal void. So, that's one reason why with the grandkids, especially our granddaughters, we keep pumping that positivity, I'm sorry, into them, so that they don't have to seek validation from a man or validation from somebody else. And that's why a lot of people actually talk to their sons and daughters and let them know, you are, a great person. You will be able to, do this or do that, versus speaking a negativity into their lives so that they don't have to seek validation from somebody else. Um,
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think too, when we talk about validation and seeking it from other people, avoiding that, I think in addition to that, it's also signs that self love is absent is when you're feeling depleted and you're feeling unworthy and you're constantly questioning yourself. And I think Denise touched on it earlier when she said, when you really don't feel like you deserve to have good relationships or good things. If somebody plays you a compliment, you want to, just shy away from the compliment. It's hard for you to accept a compliment, right? Those are signs that there is absence of self love. Um, Another way it could show up as self doubt and negative self talk, right? You talk yourself out of stuff. How many of us have been guilty of that?
oh,
Occasionally, I've been guilty of that, where you say, you know what? I want to try, you might think, I want to try something, but you know what? It's too late. I'm too old to try something new, or I've been at this job for too long and I'm not going to change jobs. I'm not going, they're not going to hire me. Like we're already talking ourselves out of it. Or we'll reflect back on something from the past that um, was something that, maybe it was. something we're not proud of, or lessons that we've learned, and we're still hung up on the negative aspect of that thing, instead of looking at, you know what, there was a lesson that you got out of it, and God forgave you, so now you need to forgive yourself and let it go.
Exactly.
And that has to deal with loving yourself enough to do that. And so the absence of self-love, I'm telling you, it is like, I don't know, have you all ever seen the grass? And sometimes the grass looks super green, and then you get up on it and you see that some of that grass is weeds. Like there's a lot of green weeds mixed up in that grass, and you have to deal with that. You have to make sure that above all else, you are loving yourself. You are pouring into yourself. So now we're going to get into talking about the power of self love, because self love is a powerful thing. And it's something that we hope after today, you are definitely going to be trying to cultivate more of for yourself. Denise, what are some things about the power of self love?
In the spirit of guiding light, it says, we recognize that self-love is not a luxury. I mean, it's not. It's a necessity. So, a lot of people, get that mixed up, but it is a necessity, and it is the key to unlocking your inner strength. It's the key to unlocking your resilience, and your capacity for joy in life. And so
Absolutely.
definitely, definitely have to work on it. Like I said, it's a necessity. It's just like the air that you breathe. It's
Absolutely.
just for us to live.
And you are so right. Because when we embody self love, when you love yourself, then you step into a power that is so fierce, so confident, because you realize who you are, and you understand that you own your own story. Nobody else can write your story for you. And when you realize that, guess what? You're not looking for external validation. When you realize the power of loving yourself and accepting yourself and being compassionate with yourself, then you're no longer even comparing yourself to other people,
Yes.
because you're so in love with you. And being in love with you is a great thing, right?
Yes.
Because God loves you. And he wants you to love you too, because when you can tap into loving yourself, you get more clarity,
Hmm.
because now you're in tune with you and you know, okay, this is what I want. You're not wishy washy. When you have goals that you set for yourself, guess what? Because you love yourself, you're going to honor yourself and your commitments to yourself, and you're going to show up for yourself, and you're going to start seeing you're achieving a lot more in life, not just in the path of careers, but from a personal perspective.
Hmm.
You're going to have more joy, more peace, more happiness. We talked about boundaries. You're going to be able to say no and put a
Oh,
period on the end of that, because the N and the O is a full sentence. It's a no,
exactly. Exactly.
right?
It's just like
So
having fertile soil, to whereas all your dreams and your, like you said, your goals and everything is going to take root in your soul, and you're going to flourish, when you have self-love for yourself,
mhm,
and you're not going to let anybody come and just say, oh, a negative thing to you, and you fall apart and be like, oh my God, is that really what people think? And it's funny because I think I was like about 28 years old when I would say before then, I really didn't have a lot of self love, because I was trying to please that person, this person, that person, do what that person needed, do what this person needed, and just trying to do so much for everybody else. And I was really, really neglecting myself. And once I came to the realization, Denise, why do you care so much about what people think? Why do you care so much about pleasing this person and that person? And that you're just running yourself ragged, like seriously. And so at that point, when I started saying and started thinking, you know what, I don't care what anyone else thinks about me, because God truly knows what my heart is. God knows exactly where, my thoughts are and exactly how I feel. So, you know what, if somebody says something negative or thinks something negative, let them think, why are you trying to prove to them that, oh, no, 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 this is really, how it is, So once I actually started just thinking and doing a self love for myself, then yeah, it was just like fertile soil. Like, like I said, now
Yeah.
my dreams have not come true, not all of them yet. Some of them are still, some of the dreams are still, working itself out. However, I'm not where I used to be. That's the thing. I've grown from where I used to be and
Mhm.
accomplished more things from what I used to have, have and different things of that nature. So it does work.
Absolutely. When you embrace self love, it's really about self discovery
Yes.
because it's self discovery and it's healing. And it does require courage because it requires for you to be able to look at yourself in the most rawest
Yeah.
form that there is and to acknowledge all the parts of you, right? The parts that you love, that's fun, and then the parts maybe that you don't love so much.
Hmm.
And it's important to understand your journey that got you to where you are today. And oftentimes, you know, we look at our journey, and it's important to know that each one of us have had a journey that have taken us through some rough trails, right? We've had some tough mountains to climb. But when you have self-love, you go from being a victim to being victorious because
Yes.
your journey gave you the strength, the character, the lessons that were learned that had you not gone through that journey, you
Yeah.
would not be the person that you are today. So sometimes it requires to have the courage and to take a look at what your journey was, not in a judgmental way, but just in a way of knowing, that was my path and understanding the path in front of you is all on you. You're the navigation system of that path. You're the author of your story. And when you love yourself, you can craft that story into exactly what you want.
Exactly. So you definitely, let us, all really, first of all, just take a moment to say, and you should be saying this to yourself, every day when you wake up, when you get ready to go to bed, throughout your day, that I am worthy. You are worthy of every good thing that God has for you. Everything
Amen.
He has for you. You are enough. Stop letting people tell you that you're not enough. You are enough. You are deserving of love. You have to set boundaries. You have to tell people no. You know, um, you know, a lot of people are so afraid to tell people no, I'm not going to do that, or no, I can't do that. But that is a critical part of your life. It's not that, oh, well, just because I said no, that's going to hurt somebody's feelings, and this, that, and the other. No, that's a part of your boundary. If it's something that you don't want to do, then why are you doing it? I mean, really, why are you doing it? And this is
Yeah.
some tough things that we have to just sit back and we have to ask ourselves. It's okay to say no, especially to things that drain your energy and it does not align with your values. It's okay.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I totally agree. When it comes to self love, we have to talk about self care
Yes.
because when you care for yourself, that's a way of honoring yourself. And Denise spoke of setting boundaries for others so that they're not draining your energy and learning to say no to things that you really don't want to do. But when it comes to self-care, that means saying yes to some things that you don't want to do. but
Yeah.
it serves you. So you have to know when it's things that serve you, you have to love yourself enough to care for yourself.
Mhm.
Example, um, as I go on, my healthier fitness journey, right?
Yes, that's
For,
definitely.
for me, no, I don't feel like getting up every morning, going to work out. I don't feel like it. But I love myself enough to know that my body needs it. There are so many benefits from physical activity that I love myself enough to know that I'm worth it. And you have to do the things that's going to serve you in the long run, right? So let's say hydrating, drinking water. That's a form of self care. You have to take care of your temple, your body, because it's the only one we got. I know that we see people out there that go through the transformers, y'all. Y'all know what the transformers is. You can, grab this block and put this on and do this, that, and the third and build a bear. You can build the body you want. But on the inside, that those same organs are still there. It still needs to be cared for, loved on, and treated with respect and appreciation, right? Because God gave us these bodies. We don't want to mess up our gift, and their gifts, their blessings. So when I do talk about self-care, it's really tied so very close to self-love. And it's tied to really being disciplined to give you the life you want, because we're not achieving the life we want because oftentimes our mindsets are tied up into creating, prisons for ourselves, that we talk ourselves out of everything because we don't believe in ourselves, because we don't love ourselves enough. And these are some behaviors that have been learned, right, through past experiences. So we have to reprogram ourselves and make sure we're intentional to tell ourselves we love ourselves and to do things that represent loving ourselves for ourselves, right? Because when we don't show up for ourselves, we teach other people not to show up for us too, right?
Yes.
You can't expect somebody to love you more than you love yourself. So when you're not loving yourself, guess what? You're going to be attracting somebody who's also not going to love you completely because you're not loving yourself completely. Because when you love yourself completely, there is a level of clarity, of confidence, and of competence that will not allow you to allow somebody else to mistreat you, whether it's in a professional setting or in
Yeah.
a personal setting.
So that is so correct, in regards to what you just said, in regards to people will treat you the way that you allow them to. So, if you don't allow them to treat you that way, then of course they will treat you with respect. If you love on yourself, regardless of whether somebody else love you, if they see you like and they say, "Oh my gosh, she really loves herself. She really, takes care of herself, does what she has to do or whatever. Oh, she is, and they'll, be like, okay, well, hey, if they see you loving on yourself, they're more apt to say, okay, well, hey, I can't mistreat this one. You know, I
Absolutely.
can't mistreat this one. I can't do, if it's one of them type of busters where they be like, oh, can't do this, can't do that. I'm gonna treat this one with some respect. So that's what you have to definitely, look at, ladies. Remember that you are the captain of your own ship. You actually are the architect of your own destiny. So you want to make sure that you are, keep telling yourself that you're worthy, that that you're a whole person, that you're deserving of love, you know,
Absolutely.
blessing that God has for you, all the positive affirmations that you want to tell yourselves. And the more and more that you tell yourself this, the more and more that you know that this is who you are. So
Absolutely.
definitely every single day, you have to pour in that self-love because as we said before, it is a necessity.
Absolutely. It's not a luxury, ladies.
Not a
Self
luxury.
love is a necessity. And
Yes.
when you love yourself, it's going to give you resilience.
Yes.
It's going to give you confidence. It's going to give you higher self esteem because you're going to believe in you.
Yeah.
You're going to believe in your abilities. You're going to believe in your dreams. You're
Hmm.
going to believe in the gifts that God has poured into you. When you believe it, then you can see it. It'll be revealed to you. And then you'll start seeing things manifest itself
Yeah.
because you believe it. God has already given us all of our blessings. All
Hmm.
of our blessings and everything we need, God has given us. But we can't get to it if we can't see it in ourselves.
Yeah.
Meaning, if your mind is limited, your beliefs are limited, then what you receive will be limited. So
Because you
don't
said
limit yourself.
God has not given us a spirit of fear, but a spirit of power, love, and a sound mind.
Amen.
So you got, yeah, you definitely, and it's just like when you were saying that, I was just picturing, how sometimes we're in a room or we may be in a function or something of that nature, and you see a woman walk into the room, and when you see her walk into the room, you can see that she's a confident sister. Brothers are like, oh, hey, here's a confident woman walking up in the room and different things of that nature. So, I mean, that is the same thing, when you feel confident and that you're worthy of certain thing, that's you walking into that room.
That's truly you. That's
That
truly you.
it's so you have to recognize that and just make sure that, hey, that you know who you are. And as they say, did you know who you are in the Lord? So yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So, as we leave you all, we want you to remember that self love is so important. Love
Yes.
on yourselves. Understand it's a journey that is a, a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful journey to self discovery and self awareness. And it strengthens you and it helps with your resilience and it paves the way for you to truly live life to the fullest that's meant for you. So
Yes.
we like to just, thank you all for being here. Thank you,
Yeah.
Denise.
Thank you.
We glad we got that situation under control. We
I
got my sister
already
here.
got a little bit fuzzy. And my son is gonna kill me if he's watching this because he's like, "Mom, you should have been more clear than this." I can hear him now resonating in my ear before I even get off this. Get off, because you didn't clean your camera. That's why you were looking all like that. It's because your camera wasn't clean. I told you get the little alcohol swab, and yeah, I'm about to hear all of this. So I do apologize because I had no intention of using my phone. I was going to be using my laptop. So I do apologize last minute, and I should have wiped off my lens before I got on, but I didn't. I didn't want to do it while we were actually giving you these good nuggets of wisdom.
Absolutely.
So I just
Well,
said,
it's
real
all love. It's
exactly.
all love, right?
You know
So
how
this
we
has been that part. Yeah, I know we keep it real. Sometimes,
do.
hey, technology is technology. It's gonna
Yeah,
get the tech, and so it teched. So with that said, we just really want to thank you all
thank you
for
for joining.
thank you, Felicia.
Yeah,
So we just want to, thank you all for joining us
yes,
for another episode of Sister Self Care Sunday. And remember to love yourself
yes.
because sometimes we love others so much more than we love ourselves.
Don't
We
we
love
though?
our children,
Yeah.
and there's nothing wrong with loving others, right? You're supposed to love your kids,
Hmm.
but you need to make sure you're loving you too. Like you
Yes.
have to love you because it'll show up. Let me
Yes.
tell you, it will show up. So love yourselves and show up for yourselves
Yes.
because that's the true demonstration of love.
And walk in
Okay?
your radiance of your own love. So, hey,
That part.
let's. Yep. Walk in it. Yep. So.
And with that said, have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week,
Yeah.
upcoming week. For those who Sunday starts their new week for them, have a wonderful upcoming week. For those who say Sunday wrapped up their previous week, have a great day. We love y'all.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.